So, what I've been doing recently, as a result of all of the things that had gone on in the past with regards to the organized harassment, um, you know how it is when you move from place to place and they set it up again with all the stalking and the noise harassment and things like that. I've found recently a better thing to do, although it's much more expensive, is to go to different places each week, like rent a different place each week. This time, or excuse me, this way it is. I mean, they can't set up the same people to do the thing over and over again. They will still try to do the whole thing with the noise harassment, and of course, they have people all around who will do the stalking things. But nonetheless, if you're in a place specifically where they have a landlord there who obviously is under control. Then when you report the noise harassment, the landlord can just say, well, no, that's not happening, even if you record it and show them evidence of it, right? This way, if you rent a different place regularly and you record the noise harassment and provide evidence, for example, to like Airbnb, they tried to do it a couple weeks ago where I rented a part of a house, and then both nights they had these two groups come in and just have these wild, extremely loud parties, smashing things down on the floor, screaming all night. So what I did was I recorded it, and then I sent the evidence to the host. And then I also sent the evidence to Airbnb and requested a refund and received a refund for that. So to some extent, while it is more expensive to do this, if you're being targeted, it is a better option because you can provide evidence to them, and then they will provide you with a refund. And also, if they continually do this over and over again, it just shows clearly what's happening, right? So you've got evidence that wherever you go, they're doing the same thing. And if you show that to Airbnb over and over again, that proves that things are very suspicious too, right? So in many ways, this is a better option. But here already, I got here yesterday and booked this place. This is an apartment here, and a different one again. Um, and so they've started a bit with the noise harassment, but in different ways, more outside of the unit. So they have like the first responders driving around and around the area, doing their usual thing with the sirens. This is an area near downtown Toronto, actually not too far from where I used to live when I put up some of the first videos that I started putting up of the stalking when they were continually harassing me over and over again at my job. So this is close to that area, an area called Liberty Village, which is just absolutely a cesspool with regards to gang stalking. They have tons of people in that area who partake in these operations. So, but again, I was able to rent this place here. And so again, I expect throughout the day there will be attempts at noise harassment. But they know I'm going to record it and I'm going to present it all to Airbnb. So if they do this, unless they do it in a way where it's completely outside, um, then I'm fine. Let them do that. But so in many ways, like this is a better strategy. Of course, if you can afford it, and a lot of TIs obviously can't afford it, and that's why they don't want me to be able to work two jobs. As you can see, I showed in that one video the police trying to sabotage my job, coming into my workplace, trying to gaslight. That's what they will do. They don't want you to be able to earn a decent income, because then you can have a little bit. You can do something like this where you can move around regularly, right? So that they can still set up the operation, but not quite in the way that they would want to. So again, throughout today, I expect to hear incessant noise harassment. How they're going to do it, I don't know. It probably will come from outside, like sirens over and over again. But I'm going to record it, and I'll show how obvious this is. And if they do it in a way that's too obvious from inside, or if it is done in a manner that I will report it to Airbnb and attempt to get a refund for this as well. And then, so that'll work out okay if they try to do that today. But again, they're doing it regularly. And wherever you go, they try to do this, right? They try to do the noise harassment thing. And yeah, so I'm just going to continue to document this. And it's pretty decent, nice, comfortable place, just like a studio here. It's not as big as that house that I rented before that I showed in the other video, but it's not bad still. Not too bad. So yeah. So if you can hear that, that is the fire alarm here in this building. And obviously, some idiot has pulled the fire alarm at the behest of these characters so that the fire department can show up here on a Saturday, right? So that the Fraud Mason Fire Department can make an appearance. And it's nothing. So they're going to show up for nothing. But again, I'm here, right? So they're going to have a justification for showing up because one of their people who they have on the payroll has pulled the fire alarm pointlessly in the building so as to provide them with a justification for coming here. So yeah, that's generally how they operate with things. They don't do real work, and in keeping with that, they've had one of their minions pull the fire alarm here today just to give them an excuse for coming here when I'm here. So they'll show up, and it'll be a total waste of time, and they'll get paid to do nothing, as usual. Yeah, you can hear it. It's really loud. It's really shrill. And yeah, they just had some clown who's in the building told them to pull it, right? So it's up there, this thing here, and it's really loud. But yeah, so fire department up to their shenanigans as usual, providing some excuse to show up where the target of their harassment is located. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Excuse me?
It's fire department. Did you guys burn anything in there?
No, I didn't burn anything in here. Someone pulled the alarm, obviously, to give you an excuse to come here.
You're outside near the door, so we're just checking the doors nearby.
Yeah, they pulled the alarm so that you'd have an excuse to come here because I'm here. That's what it is. So you heard that interaction there with the fire department coming to the apartment that I rented and knocking on the door after one of the people who they paid to pull the fire alarm gave them an excuse to come here and knock on the door to send a message. Yeah, pretty obvious there. So yeah, I mean, look at that. Like you've seen the footage of them, how consistently they show up everywhere I am. And also, since I got here yesterday, you literally hear sirens going around and around and around the area. So it's obvious that they're just driving around and around the area, blaring the sirens while attending to nothing. And I don't know whether that was the police or the fire department or a combination of both, but that's what they do. And again, they don't like some of these videos that I've been uploading. So again, they're sending a message there. And I'm going to send a message by uploading more videos of what they're doing. So that's how it's going to work. But yeah, you could hear that. Very loud, very shrill. It only lasted for about 20 minutes, but they had some idiot pull the alarm. There was no fire. There was nothing like that. But again, it gives them an excuse, and it gives them an excuse to come up to this specific floor and knock on the door of all of all the apartments here. They come up and knock on doors on this floor, and of course, it gives them an excuse to knock on my door here and say, "Is there anything burning in there?" I mean, they know fully well that they had someone pull the alarm and that the whole thing was fake. So that's what they do. And yeah, I just got more evidence of that there. I didn't want to open the door and see them because they just make me sick. So I don't want to look at them. So. And another reason they pulled this silly tactic was because they know that if there's incessant noise harassment right at the unit or whatever, I'll go to Airbnb, make a complaint, and get my money back that I spent. So instead, they do silly little things like this. And that's the mentality of the people who work in these positions. You got to understand, like those are grown adults doing that, showing up to do something like that. I mean, just think about that.